Hello everyone, my name is David Van Vleck and today I'll be giving my persuasive speech. My topic is on, or my title of my topic is simply Don't Do Drugs. Um, I'm pretty sure every listener, everybody in pretty much in the world and in one way, shape, or form has been affected by drug use. Um, I'd venture to say that everything that anybody's ever experienced is pretty much negative with it. Um, the, the the reason why I'm passionate about don't do drugs is the fact that not only does it put the person that is deciding to do it in harm's way, it puts everybody around them, anybody on the streets, anybody near them, in chances of possibly losing their own lives. Um, in my speech today, I will be providing you with factual information about people's addiction to drugs, crime related to drugs, and death caused by the excessive use of drugs. First off, with the addiction to drugs. Pamela Egan, who was the author of 23 Million Americans Addicted to Mind-Altering Substances, stated her definition to addiction as a physical and a psychological dependence on an object or a substance. In this case, we would obviously be referring to the substance as for the drug. In her article that she wrote, it basically tells in the title that in the year 2000, when she wrote this article, and it has continued to grow since then, over 23 million Americans are addicted to drugs. And that's just people who are reported. That's not the people who haven't been caught by the police or any way, shape, or form came in and asked for help. That's 23 million Americans in this world who are addicted to mind-altering substances. To provide you with a real-life story, I have a family member who is currently struggling with drug addiction, and it's very sad. He went from being very smart, working a very great job, to becoming now to where he barely is able to pay his bills if he's able to. Very sad. Like I said, he's a very intelligent person. He has just gotten caught up in the wrong place in the wrong time, and basically his life is shot as of right now. That hits me hard. I hope it hits you hard. I hope it persuades you to not do drugs, because it takes everything you have away from you. I think a next step in my speech would be to touch on briefly crime that's related to drugs. Millions and millions of people are affected by the crimes that are related to drugs. The Office of National Drug Control defines drug crime simply as any crime committed where drugs are involved. The statistics that I'll be providing that are also from the Office of National Drug Control are particularly speaking of people who are incarcerated as of right now. A statistic is 24.5% of federal inmates and 29% of state inmates were under the influence of drugs during violent crimes that they committed. Obviously, there's a connection there with something between the drugs and crime, because there's your statistic that proves that almost 25% of people that are in prison right now in some way, shape, or form were involved with doing drugs while they were committing their crime that they are in prison for. Another statistic that I thought was interesting and kind of mind-blowing in a way was that 24.4% and 22.4% of state prison inmates and federal inmates were under the influence of drugs when committing weapon-related offenses. I mean, that's kind of in that case, it's kind of two bad things all wrapped up into one, to where you have weapons that can cause harm with somebody who has a sober mind, but then when you put them in a mindset of being either high or something off of some kind of drug that they have, it makes you make very, very, very unwise choices and makes you very quick to react negatively to someone that may have made you mad or something like that. I think one that's going to hit me hard, and that's going to hit a lot of people hard, is the fact that so much death is related to drug use. Like I've been given before, basically the definition is any death that is caused by drug use. A statistic in 2002, is it 20,000 people on average died that year to drug use. To put that in perspective, that's Georgia Southern. I mean, that's Georgia Southern's that's Georgia Southern's fall enrollment for this past year, 2011. They had 20,100 students. That would leave 100 freshmen there. That basically wipes out almost their entire school. I think when it comes to it, we can all make a personal commitment to try to start changing things one person at a time. If everybody makes a commitment to not do drugs, eventually it can change the world. In conclusion to my speech, I hope that after this speech, all of my listeners will now choose to avoid drugs at all costs. After hearing about drug addiction, crime related to drugs, and the almost definite chance of death relation to drugs, I truly hope that my listeners will choose to at least think about their choices regarding drugs. I hope this really set in and kind of hopefully will change your lives, if not, cause you to do something for your community, to help out with people and their drugs and their drug addictions, things of that sort. Don't do drugs. It's the easiest way to not be affected by it. Thank you for listening.